Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, evening, afternoon. How's everybody doing? It's a beautiful day today. Got a lot of things done, and I'm feeling good. How's everybody else feeling? Ready? Wow, not me. Well, I mean, me, but more of like my hands. My hand, look, I did my nails. I don't know if you can tell, probably not. But it's holographic. And I know they look like shit now because I went over the cuticles, but they'll look great tomorrow. Let's see if I can get them to sparkle. Okay, ready? Yeah, look at that shit. See how shiny they are? Yeah. So super shiny. This is the better hand. I should have shown that one initially. But yeah, super shiny. So in the sunlight, it's really pretty. Anyway, I figure I better not have jacked up nails if I'm gonna do a stream with my hands in it. So I'm trying to, like, keep my nail game on point. So anyway, so today, I'm gonna do more names on this. We do have some new followers. I do have my dashboard up just in case I forget, because I do have a physical list, of people. Don't anger the camera gods. Dude, this thing was not... The one thing I'll say about this thing, it was not built to support, the concept of the stand and the arms and being, interchangeable and stuff, fine. It was not built to handle the weight of this ring light. Like, the ring light's way too heavy for the model. Or they should have made a wider or heavier base. Like, it just does not... Like, I have, things holding it down so it'll stay where it is. So if it drops again like it did last time, I'm sorry. So yeah, I figure we can get to a couple names for the list first, and then we'll go from there. And as usual, for the chill part, we're gonna just listen to some jazz. And oh yeah, and this is the other one. I'm gonna be cleaning it up a little bit because it is very, very messy on this side. Hold on, focus. There we go. On this side, I haven't filled it in like this side, so we're gonna do that first, and then I'm gonna do what's called a cleanup. I know, new word. So then I'm gonna go in with, like, not this marker, but like a marker, and all those kind of rough patches you see that kind of make the main subject, which is the center of each feather. Anything that kind of distracts from that, I can go in with that lighter one and clean it up and just kind of give it more definition. So that's what we're going to be doing when we go to her. So I'm probably going to be zooming in for that one. This one's plenty large, but anyway, we're going to put her to the side here because we got to get more names on here. I have to fix Flanders' fucking name. It's driving me nuts. Literally. Anyway, let's put her down here. There we go. Okay. It just gives me more space. Okay. Get my mouse off there. Oh, also, since I'm not using color pencils for illustration, we are using Sharpie markers. And don't be fooled. They're not the colors that they look like. So, always have a swatch pad. So this is just like, and you want it like, and this sounds like kind of like, I don't know, bougie, or like kind of like, oh, just make sure you get this thing because it's totally necessary. But what I mean by it is that these markers will show up differently on different kinds of paper. So whatever paper you're working on, you want to have either just rip out a page from that sketchbook and use that as your swatch list, because you can get away with using that for a long fucking time. Swatch list is literally just going like that with the colors and making sure it looks the way you want it to before you permanently fuck up your drawing like I might do tonight. Or yeah, just easy solution, rip out a page from a new sketchbook that you bought. That way the paper has the same consistency. This came in a set that I got for Christmas, so this is the same paper as this paper. So the results of however it's going to show up on here are probably going to be the same here. So that was all. So when we do that color stuff, I will be swatching first because she's a peacock colored. Oh, and if you hadn't noticed, I did do my nails in the peacock color scheme to be a tribute to the peacocks. Now this is a great marker. This is not gray and it's not black. It's like a purple, but it's like a really fucking weird purple. Like, almost like blue. It's almost like when you dye your hair blue. Like, really dark blue, but or like, you dye your hair really dark black, like, say. But then you find out they put blue pigment in there to make it, to stretch out the black pigments. And then when you dye your hair, it looks more blue than black. It's kind of like that same effect. So when it dries, it looks like different than, it just adds a little bit of warmth to it. But I don't know if I really want to add a lot of warmth to my sketches. My sketches are a different story than my paintings. My paintings are very bright and colorful and big and acrylic and crazy. I think I'm going to fix Sea of Whiskey first because that's a really easy fix. I'm just going to make this match the size of the rest of it. As you can see, I got my drop in there and my pillow that I sit on and my to-do list. No one needs to see. So anyway. How about we just move her over a little bit? Oh, you can see the ring light, kinda. That's annoying. If it annoys you guys, let me know. Wait 1 second. Damn it. Gotta get my ciggy out. I'm liking the vibe of this channel. It's called like Chill Essential Summer Chill Hot Mixer or something fucking like that. If you just want some chill stuff to like zone out to, and you just want to be calm. Alright, let's get to it. These are... There's some... Anyway, there are some areas already that are overlapping, so I might... Because I'm an impatient fuck when it comes to inking and things, I like them to be permanent. I don't like them to be messy like this. It bothers me. Unless, like, I'm making a drawing to look messy. Like, it's a very different mindset as far as a drawing. But, like, there's already an overlap with Octavius and Devon right here. So I might just cement this one area. Because I don't want there to be a lot of negative space in between the letters. So, and that's gonna have to come down to me being creative with how I'm going to kind of connect everything. But at least for the time being, this part is definitely gonna be connected, so I might as well cement it so it doesn't get all fucked up. So it's like my fear that it's gonna get messed up. Anyway, so we're gonna do that for a little while, and then we're gonna go to Our Lady and clean her up a little bit and fill her in and hopefully not ruin it. I'm gonna take some pictures before I do it. That is provided that I finish the illustration tonight, which hopefully I do. So I'm gonna try, let me know if I'm ever working at an angle where you guys can't see me draw, because I draw like weird. I don't draw like this, I draw like this. More of like a holding a brush up like that, so it affects the way I draw. What is this Kenny G bullshit? Let's go to an album. Fuck it. I was gonna give it a chance, and I totally ruined it for me. Let's see, what have I got here? What do I feel like listening to? It's kind of chill and kind of awesome. I don't know. Any suggestions? I could just do another chill hop, because there's other channels, and we could just see if there's something better. I don't want to put people to sleep, but at the same time, this is kind of like supposed to be a calmer stream from my normal lunatic self when I play video games. I just haven't been into video games the last couple days, guys, and I'm so sorry, and you probably noticed. You know, my streams have been shorter. I've just kind of been in a weird headspace right now, you know? I just want... Do I have to do this 2 words like a weird... Okay. I almost typed in child hop. Oh god, and it would have, like, to send me to the Kids Bot page. Do you remember that shit? The Kids Bot stuff? They used to... Wow, for kids! Until they realized the songs that they were giving to the kids were completely inappropriate. Let's see what we got here. Chill Up Essentials. Ooh, I like this channel. It's a little raccoon. That's all I know how to judge it by. But it's a good station. I used to put it on for my dog when I had to go work a double, you know, or any shift really. So we're just gonna make this a little bit bigger. That's all. Until I hit those just a little bit. The E's and the A's, I mean, like, I know it's not capitalized, Sea of Whiskey. For aesthetics, we know who you are. I know who you are. You know? Okay, give it a little bit of that goopy, watery / whiskey kind of feel to it. Okay. Damage control. And if you can't see the drawing, let me know and I'll up the contrast so you can see the lines better. I don't want it to flare out that much. So yeah, if you're ever finding yourself having to expand or contract, like say you have to make something bigger or smaller, it makes it way easier if you give yourself a directional line or some sort of thing like that. So that's why even this looks absurd to draw a box around it. For some people, they're like, why the fuck would you do that? It's just that this is the space I wanted to occupy. I know my ends. It's very much like learning how to write when you're in school and they don't want you to like go over the lines in certain areas, so you can learn lowercase versus uppercase. Same kind of concept. My cigarette went out. When I was in college, and I was on break from college because I went away for college. Well, no, at the time, yeah, yes, okay, yes and no. I went away. My first 2 years of college, I went to a community college, so I lived at home. And then for 2 years, I went to a 4-year college, and then I was only home on the weekends because I lived there. But my routine when I was home was always the same. I would like get home, wait till it was super late, and then I would just like put on my headphones and wear out my CDs and just smoke cigarettes and draw on my bed, like just all night. And looking back at it, I'm like, what the fuck happened to that girl? She was very productive. But anyway, more damage control. Because I want it to be a little bit more clear on what it is, and now I can erase the box as I go because I don't really need it. I have to vacuum in here after I do this kind of stuff because of all the shavings, the eraser shavings. Actually, she can go up a little bit. I don't like the shape of that F. It kind of throws the whole alignment off. I might straighten that up in a second. And same design, just like straighten it up, you know? But I'm not there yet. Focus on one thing at a time. So I'm trying to learn how to draw to the side more like proper people. But I like drawing, like, because I'm painting, and like usually a paintbrush you don't hold like this unless you're trying to get some sort of effect. 9 times out of 10 it's pointed, you know, at whatever you're doing. It's pointed. And I kind of just, from being like drawing all my life, I learned how to write like that. So people get so mad at me to this day because all of my markers, like felt tip markers like this, are meant to, like, they're felt tips, so eventually they do erode. So if you use them in the same way, it will adjust to the angle of which you're using them. So when I use one of these to draw completely up down, and then someone's like, hey, can I borrow a pen of yours? I'm like, I don't have any ballpoints. And they're like, yeah, but you got that. And I'm like, it won't write for you. And people don't understand the concept, and then they go to write like this, and they're like, what the fuck? I was like, you have to write it like that. And they're like, oh, screw your pen. More times in my life has that happened than I care to admit. It's really weird, and that's how I realized I had a problem. I want these to look like teardrops, kind of. Like a water droplet. Because it is sea whiskey. I do use this eraser from time to time because it's faster. For small touch-ups that I don't really want to like take my mind off of things for. but I don't like wearing out the erasers on my pencils. I'd rather use one that okay, so let's do we're just changing the angle. Yeah. And so, just in that brief time period, what that allowed me to do by using that cross shape, it told me exactly where I wanted my brain to go and how I wanted to fix it without trying to guesstimate how to redo the letter. It just takes a lot of hassle off. I'm gonna make this a little bit less high here. That'll just open up some space for some whiskey. Sea of whiskey. Sea of whiskey, looking good. Alright, so let's clean up Sea of Whiskey a little bit. A race with third winter. I'm gonna take away the elf shoes on these guys. I've decided I don't like that. Just round it out a little bit. Otherwise, I like the way the other letters look when we ink it. Like, this is, once again, one of those concepts of overlay. So since this overlays with here, and the space in between is going to be so small, I can probably do that along with that in these areas. So we've got a lot to ink here, but I want to get more names on here before I do that, because once that's on there, and I don't know what I might want to change. So, you know, there's that. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, that was me just checking my mobile to make sure that it wasn't frozen. God, what album should we listen to when we do the... This is gonna be more of my music when I do the Peacock Lady. So, I don't know. I'm thinking, like, because we did Prague. Like, we listened to Sound Awake by Carnival. We listened to Lateralis by Tool. Ooh, we should play some Porcupine Tree. I know maybe not a lot of people have heard of Porcupine Tree, but they're pretty fucking good. I just don't know what album I want to play for you guys. If I can find it on here, Fear of a Blank Planet might be a really good one. Or, Anesthetize. Anesthetize might be a good one. There's another one called Ooh, that might be... I'm trying to think what kind of album I want to start off Porcupine Tree. For anyone it's being introduced to. My fucking cigarette won't stay lit. That's a good thing. It means I'm not smoking as much as drawing. Hydrate. Always hydrate, kids. Okay, so we fixed the whiskey. Looks pretty good for a rough sketch. Octavius is looking in Divan. I don't like that overlap here. highlights. Also want to make that R a little bit more pronounced. Match the T. And then this is just very messy. I'm just like trying to clean it up so for you guys you can see what the fuck is going on. Okay. Okay. Let's clean up this eye. I'm basically doing illustration, I'm doing pencil cleanup, which is different than illustration cleanup. Just to like give myself a calmer view of what I'm doing and not have the chaos that is my initial sketch, which is always the rough draft, you know, of anything. Rough drafts don't just apply in writing. Okay. I'm just getting like miscellaneous lines that don't belong there anymore out of the way. Let's scooch down here really quick because I want to work on this area. Once again, I don't like how this is slanted, and it was probably because I was drawing slanted. But let's clean that up. I like that, but I'm going to change the stem. Where it's going to go more like that. And maybe cut this off a little bit too, actually. I don't want people thinking it's like a Q. So I might make the openings on there a little bit bigger. Fuck. I just like throw my art utensils around like a fucking asshole. I'm abusive to my... See, to make this look more like a 9, I think I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a geometric look to it. Because then people don't necessarily associate that to a letter sometimes. And you are still crooked as fuck. Let's do that. Because I like that little... Now it just looks like it's going, It's even 49. Okay, chemical addiction is looking good. Let's clean up some of the O's. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not covering it with my hand, because that's my criticism of my last stream that I did. Did not like that. Like, I was completely blocking what I was doing, which is the whole point of a fucking art stream. Just darken it up a little bit, which means, okay, like, these letters are done. I try to go light on it until then because I'm an aggressive eraser. And when I was younger, I was an aggressive drawer. So I would draw way too heavily, and I would make a lot of mistakes and do have to do a lot of cleanups. And so I had to kind of teach myself to not do that anymore. Okay. Okay, done. Okay, these look good. That looks good. Clean up on that's okay. Just make this a little bit darker. Okay. Alright, so this M's pretty good. It's pretty clean. So is this E. Clean up a tiny bit more, and actually I want it to overlap the H just because it's gonna look too squished if I put it under both. I'm gonna connect that C both to the top and the bottom. Actually, not to the top. But definitely right there. Yeah, that looks better. Clean up the Devon D. And the I. And then we can move on to another name, because I think everything looks good. Sin 77's over there. I do have a Scud 777. I should put him on there. Him or her. Also, Neo needs to go on here tonight. We just gotta find out where the fuck to put him, because his name's like 1,000,000 characters long. Because he hates me. Like, just like how arrogant to think that like someone's like at their computer like But I like Neo to one because it always reminds me of the Matrix. So I'm gonna take this all off. I'm gonna shift this a little bit because we're gonna work on, I want to work on Flanders really quick. That's the one that hasn't really been addressed, and I want to get his done, meaning I want him to be congruent with everything else. Okay, wait, hold on. Webcam, don't fuck with me right now. You understand? Do you? Do you? Okay. Okay, so let's do a wipe off sesh here. I think I'm gonna put Neo, where do my pens go? I put them in random places, and I don't remember where I put them. I'm an idiot. So, Neo is probably gonna go, because it's his, 1, 2, 3, underscore, DE underscore, oh no, so that's like 10, 11 letters, so I'm probably gonna put him, this is going this way, so let's do Neo in like kind of a, this will give me more space to work with instead of it being a straight line, and it'll kind of match that kind of weird organic thing that's going on over here. And I should also add that kind of organic feel in and out, because we're gonna need to do it at some point. So, you know. Anyway, we're gonna fix Bob first. So really, this is a more complicated expansion because the letters are so tight that it's not going to be just a matter of inflating the letters. We're gonna have to completely redo it. And so basically I'm gonna be going by eye on what I've already done and just trying to shift it over and keep it as consistent as I can, if you will. So anyway, so we're expanding it and we're making it larger, so, you know. And once again, the box to show me the direction I want to take it in, so I don't fuck that up. So I'm just kind of going off of what I did already. Okay, we're gonna put the O here. And if you think too much about it, just fucking do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Because it's pencil. See, this tells me where to stop. Okay, now this is where it's going to get complicated because we're going into Flanders. So right now I want to establish that it's looking the way I want it to. Also, these are great for erasing in circles, because sometimes it's easier if you're doing a circular kind of thing. And for this, I'm going to erase the circle altogether, because that's the easiest thing to reapply. Why do you look like a shoe? I don't want you to look like a shoe. Something that doesn't look like with the B. Wrong one. Okay, so now I want to completely erase the other B so it doesn't distract me from the task at hand, which is completing the F. Okay, so making sure it's going where I want it to, because eventually I want it to end up here and connect with Scripta's name. Okay, so this was above here. There we go. Go more that way. No, actually. Okay, I'm gonna stop there too because that's a very stylized N and I want to make sure I get it right. And in the meantime, I'm gonna clean this up because this looks good so far. Nothing like fixing your own work. Hey, it's part of the process though. You learn something new every time you do stuff. The techniques you learn are only there to give you a way to express it, but what you express is totally up to you. And how to accomplish it. No one can teach you how to accomplish your vision. They can give you the skills. That's what teachers are amazing for. They can give you the skills, so that you can take what's in your brain and put it down like this, you know? So far, the expansion of Bob Flanders is doing very well. It's a little light, so let me know if, like, let me try to adjust the, whoa, no, not what I wanted to do. Yeah, no. It's just in a different area, so it's not like picking up on the webcam. So this is a very stylized end, so I'm just going to completely ignore this for right now because it's still there, and very lightly make it what I wanted it to be. No. I know it looks like utter garbage right now, but it'll all make sense. So, you know what that made me sound like? What's his fucking face that's in the Bourne Identity? Matt Damon! There we go. It's Matt Damon? No, Mark Wahlberg? No, Matt Damon is Bourne Identity. I'm talking about Mark Wahlberg. You know how he always looks confused when he's figuring shit out? It's great. We're gonna take this D back a little bit. Actually, I don't mind an overlap there. It just needs to be larger. Yeah, good. Another example of an overlap. So Cinda's probably going to stay exactly how it is. I might thicken it up a little bit here so the letters connect a little bit more, but I like just the vibe of it. It's cool. Alright. ERS 86. I hate to say this. Well, we're going to do you from scratch because I know exactly what you look like. And we're going to make it happen. People are like, oh, you should do digital art. You should be able to do this so much faster. I know. I know I could do it faster. I can't make out with my computer, though. Not like I'm making out with my canvases, but you know what I mean. I'm making love with my hands to it. Not to diss digital art, like I was saying the other night. There's some phenomenal digital art I can't believe exists. Like, people are so fucking creative, and I'm so glad that they have a medium to do it. You know what I mean? Oh no. Salty, the 6 might run into you. Unless... change the plan for the R. Little bit. that little bit of space can make all the difference. I don't mind if the names touch, but we're not at a point where they have to, like, overlap. Where one's shadowed by the other. You know what I mean? Gonna extend the L here and then minimize it here, and that should make room for the 6. Alright. And then they'll be touching each other. Cool. Because I didn't want to lose any effect on the salty. Yeah, that should do it. Oh, for anybody that struggles in making an S, just make half of a figure 8, or even just start with a figure 8 and go like meow, 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 and then erase that, and that's an S, and then you can build from there. Or just start with an S and then go from there versus trying to build an S. I always use like directional like stuff to help me stay where I want to be in the drawing. You know? I don't know if that helps anybody out. If there's any tips and tricks anyone's learning, I hope that... Get the fuck out. I'm abusive to my art equipment. I'm not proud of it. But I'm also not going to group therapy for it. You would know it from such a calm gamer I am during the day. I know it's a small detail, but details make it amazing. What makes something ordinary extraordinary? If you put details in. So hopefully, that's what I'm trying to accomplish. I wouldn't say anything I do is extraordinary, but I try my best. Okay, ready for 86 somehow? Let's start with the 6. Yay, we got the 6 in there without fucking up Salty Balti. And they're connecting, which is great, because that's another connector line. Yay! Flanders is fixed. Look at all of it in its splendor. Hope you guys like. Hi, babyface. Ow. Hold on, stretching. Okay. It does look like it's getting more squished as it goes on. It kind of really does. When I ink it, I'll probably expand it back a little bit, but for right now it's like, it's there. It's there, it's bigger than I wanted it to be. I mean, it's bigger than it was, which makes me happy. It's the same size as the other things going on, and that's what was my goal. And so now I can erase these lines, because they're not necessary anymore. And we'll get to, like I said, I'll probably thin these out slightly, which will, I don't want to condense them to this size. I want to, if anything, expand these so they don't look like they're crammed in there. You know what I mean? So, we'll figure it out. Inking's a long way off. So we fixed Flanders, we cleaned up on a couple things. We fixed Sea of Whiskey. Let's see who we got. I want to do a shorter name for the sake of my sanity. So I could pick a shorter name if you don't mind. We got a new, actually, okay. We got a new follower. And y'all have seen the Canvas Love, and this is a new follower. And I want to make sure I recognize them. Oh, they're playing right now. Start. Okay, wait. I want to make sure I spell it right. It's, okay, so it's, I'm just going to write it up here. U-U-O-A-I-N-I. Okay. Alright, so let's see if we can put that somewhere organically in this canvas. Also cleaning up some negative space that was obviously aggressive last night. Not last night, what was it, like 2 nights ago? So helping me count the letters helps me figure out where to put it. So I'm thinking... One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. Don't sound like a lot, but they are. Like, say I put it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it would loop around in like a weird way. So maybe I should do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah? There's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That might look really pretty right there. And it won't be crammed in here because this space is pretty saturated right now. And I'm kind of like getting overzealous, and there are shorter names that'll fit in there easier. So how would we do... I don't know how to say your name, but Uwani? Uwani? Uwani. Uwani. So you're gonna go here. So I'm just gonna get that where it should be. Okay. Doing something off camera. Sorry that I'm doing that. Fucking need a utensil. Dude, I got my tan on today. Not like I went to a beach or anything, because I wouldn't touch the water in Beloit with a 10-foot pole. Not someone else's even. That's like dick to do with someone else's pole. I think that's like when someone's like, I wouldn't touch that with someone else's this or someone else's, 10-foot pole. Like, really? You care that little about your fucking friends? You're a dick. Like, I mean, definitely wouldn't do it myself. Like, not even my neighbor. I mean, like, which, like, opens the debate. I mean, there are things that I might have my neighbor check out, like, that I'm not as scared of, that there's different degrees of, like, whether or not he'd touch it with a 10-foot pole, make his neighbor do it, which is even shittier, or, like, not even let his neighbor do it, because he knows it's bad news bears. Sorry, it's so stupid. Sorry for being silly. But yeah, let's get the new follower in here. Cause that was super cool. Hope he sees it. He, she sees it. Don't know who they are. How's the music volume in relation to the audio? Is the audio, like, too jacked up? I'm trying to talk quietly. I don't know. Just let me know. Okay, we're gonna do Uwani right there. Popomus. I'm gonna have a ciggy, get out. Go on. Good girl. I don't like her in here when I'm smoking. Fuck, really? However, I do appreciate the addition of decelerants or whatever, anti-acceleration chemicals they put in cigarettes, because I'd be dead by now. I wanted to follow the flow. Let's get the first O in there. We'll see where it goes from there. Oh no, it's not an O. I'm stupid. It's a U. I wrote it fucking down. Then that leaves another space here or here. I don't like this view the way it is. I want to keep it where it is. I just need to do something different with it. The rest of the name, I'm cool with. Just gonna clean it up a little bit and probably condense them together a little bit more. With all these, I'll probably be doing that. If you haven't noticed, I've started like kind of connecting them a little bit because I don't want a lot of negative space. And there's a reason for that, but I don't want to talk about it yet. As far as like the coloring part of it, I guess. If that makes sense. Still don't like it. You need to be down here. I don't want them to look like magnets. So I'm rounding out like those edges. The fuck am I in Legend? What is this music? For those of you that are too young to get that reference, that was a movie made in, I think, the 80s with Tom Cruise. About unicorns and stupid princesses and weird goblin kings. It's also where the famous Tim Curry devil photo came from. And most of you will know that photo before you'll know the movie, as was my experience. Like, oh, it's that devil guy, now I know what he's from, you know? Much better. Yeah, much better. U-U-O-A-I-N-I. Yay, I did it. Sorry, I'm erasing my reference. I did it. Okay, cool. So we got another one on there. There were also some ones gifted that actually, before I forget, I am going to put on there on my list. My list is extensive, and I appreciate you guys. You're the best. There is... Okay. Bonnie, got them on there. Who else we got? Who else we got? There was a gift. I just want to make sure I don't lose it. Gifted a sub to, it was recent. Oh, there, I found it. Okay. It's ALIKSANGR, and my pencil's not writing. Fuck. Did you hear him breaking? Alec? It looks like Alec. Can I call you Alec? Okay, I got it down. In case you ever pop in. Please correct me if my verbiage is terrible. Okay, so I think that's... I'm making sure I just have everyone... Oh no, there's another one. Fuck. Because Bear Trap Chuck. Gifted... Bear Trap Chuck. That was super sweet of you. Samga Links. Okay. Alright, so we got a lot of new people. So I'm gonna do one more name and then switch over to cleaning up my drawing, because I really want to do that. Like, I'm itching for it. But I'm glad I finally got this expanded. It does overlap with Salty a little bit, but that's okay. But we got Owani. So, and we cleaned up everybody. Scripta, Devon look better. Octavius looks better. Chemical Addictions, nice and cleaned up. Sea of Whiskey, Sea Matches of the Whiskey. Flanders has been expanded. We got Sin 777 over here, and we got some organic lines that we can start playing around with more so than the linear lines. But let's take a break from this. And yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Fuck. No! That's my leg! back fucking up there. I did all the satanic rituals you promised me, Satan. You promised me I could do this stream. Come on, it was perfect. Say something, I'm giving up on you. That's literally what that song had. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Satan. I might go back to those, but I'm itching to do her. I gotta give her a name too. I don't know what it's gonna be. I showed my mom, and she's like, "Oh, I like that you have like her hair over one eye," and I'm like, "Yeah, what you don't realize was that was me fucking up." And I couldn't draw the eye correctly the way I wanted it to with the angle, and I'm like, "Fuck it!" I took care of it. Okay, so I don't need an extra pencil, so I'm gonna put that away. I do have markers on standby. This one's a good one. And I see like a swatch. Also, before you fuck up your drawing, and if you have like a marker that's not really good at, you know, like I see like a little bit of grain right there. And that indicates to me that if I were to do a long sweeping line, I'd have to do it over. So what I'm looking for in my bag of fucking markers, because I have a problem, I'm looking for that thick, put that to the side if that's my only option, that thick kind of marker where you can do that. So I know I have a couple. The sharper the edge. Why does that pencil keep coming? Oh no, this one's fucked. I should throw that out. Yeah. There we go. That's my pen. So that's the permanent marker I'm gonna be using to clean up bigger areas. This is that blue I was talking about that's like really fucking cool. What's the color on it? Does it tell you? They never tell you what they are. No. But it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's fucking blue. Like, do you see it? It's blue. In comparison to the black lines, but it comes across like so beautifully, like, so I'm thinking I might start using this color pen to do some other illustrations, or even to like clean up certain areas of this after I'm done filling in this wing, because after that it's cleanup crew time. But this is also for swatch paper for the markers, but we're going to do that later because I am nowhere near that spot. Give me 1 second. What, puppy? Wait, hold on 1 second. Wait. Sorry, puppy was, getting in my face. And I just wanted some pets. So I gave her some. Alright, so this wing is as done as I'm comfortable doing it, except for maybe this no, I'm gonna leave that the way it is. So what I'm gonna do is zoom in on this part, and we're gonna focus on that wing. So bear with me here. All this like art stuff is new to me, you know? Like doing it on... Okay. Tilt it a little bit. I'm gonna pan. Okay. I don't want to zoom so much that you lose it, so I think that's pretty good for right now. I don't have any eraser lines on here. I don't think. I like how the inspiration for this was totally different than how it came out as far as the feathers. Okay, so we're gonna take... What are you? Also, swatch pad, good for checking pen thickness. Over a 5. I'd rather the 5 for right now. Well, no, the 5's for cleanup. Let's do the 8. Or how do I want to clean this up? No, I want to clean it up with a fine tip. Sorry, this is how I go through my artistic process, as I talk to myself like crazy. Hydrate! Okay. Mouse, get out of here. 5 year fillator. 2 back in the bin. Gonna keep that around because it's kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah. And the 8. Okay, so we're gonna use the 8 right now. I hope y'all can see. Let me know if you can't. I'm gonna try to... I don't want to move the webcam because I'm scared. See, I'm so scared. So unstable. But hey, it's an improvement. It's a rigged improvement, but an improvement nonetheless to the whole aesthetic. So hopefully, because for anybody that saw my other ones, they weren't very well done. Okay, so let's scooch her over to the side here. Now that was supposed to be her elbow bone, but it looks like it crossed with this feather, and that bothers me. But there's nothing I can do about it now, because it's set in stone. So what I'm doing is just putting darker shading on where the darker parts would be. I'll give it... I was thinking about it earlier, and I kind of like chaotically did the feather control, and then I put like these right. I was putting in intermittently after watching back the video, and I have to like kind of calm the fuck down. Now I'm not starting here. I'm starting from the top because that's the best way to start. I don't know if I was talking about this, but I met an 11-year-old that understand the concept of layering, and it was brilliant. And I was like, I can't believe you know, like, the process. And her answer to me was, oh, it's my my Zen place. And I'm like, totally feel ya. Real cool kids. When I got to hang out with my friends, I got to meet their kids, and they were super awesome. Now I want to try to keep that shape because I want there to be a solidity to it. I don't want it to be stringy in that way. I'm not going to add on to that until I get into these, because you could tell that I set it up for it, but I didn't go through with it yet. And you see this area is very busy, and this is something I would go in with a five and clean up because it's thinner. Because if I try to clean that up with something else, it's gonna turn ugly. So what I'm doing is just reinforcing the lines that are supposed to be less messy, that are already dark, you know? Because I want it to be crisper. Like, you notice that these are much crisper. You could tell towards the end I was losing my steam. But, you know, just like correcting like little scribbles here and there, because it'll help a lot in having control on how this is illustrated with color. That's a dark area. I can't do much about that except not accentuate it. Don't make it worse. When you feel yourself trying to make it worse, don't. Okay, once again, that's a 5 area. And for those of you that don't know that term, it's the point size. It's on the pens. Wait, sorry. This way? There we go. So this is what I use. And this tells you the gauge of the tip of the pen. And there's tons of them. There's at least a dozen sizes that I can think of. The lower the number, the thinner the pen. So an 8 is pretty thick for this. I do have some 10s, but they run out really quickly if you don't use them a lot. They dry up, I found. So, and I use Sharpies mostly, or Sharpie pens for that kind of detail, and I'm not going to pay extra for pens that I can get for like $2.99 on Amazon. You know what I mean? So yeah, those are my workarounds. But you get what you pay for, and when it comes to those fine tip pens that can do work like this, that those can't because they're just not made for it. Like, they're too sloppy. Unless you're working bigger. If you're working bigger, then it's less of a problem. But this is a small piece of paper. And I'm going to leave that alone. But these lines are here, so I'm going to use them already. And maybe cover that one up a little bit. Yeah, just those little, like, things you do to just clean up the lines makes so much of a difference between it looking messy and controlled. So that's what I'm trying to do. There's still a lot of mess here that I'm not happy with. And going into illustration, depending on your style, and the style that I'm going for is not where I use marker over it. I want to give the marker as much space as possible, but I don't know if I'm going to color it in like anime style, because they are markers, and I could do it that way. Excuse me. However, I don't know if I want to be that bold and aggressive with it, because I kind of like the illustration itself is bold and aggressive. It's very, as you can see, dark, heavy lines and stuff like that. I want the colors to be more subtle, so I have to be very careful in my selection of the markers, so you can tell I'm stressing out about it. But, so, that's on my mind. See, I'm going into my, like, clean that up a bit, clean this up a bit. Gonna connect that, and then let's see if we can get some feathers in here. Always make it a little bit darker and keep the lighter. This one's really messy. Did I just like have it? I was like, I've had it. We're doing these circles. I'm gonna get some feathers in here too. These are worked down, so these are gonna be overlapping. These are gonna work down. These are gonna overlap a little bit. Okay. I literally didn't smoke any of that cigarette, but I kind of like that. It's kind of just the habit of having it. I guess that's better than smoking it. Don't smoke, kids. It's bad for you. That means that. Vapes, don't smoke them. They're bad for you. And I mean that. Okay. Serving. Can she fix it? We'll find out. It's just such a negative space. I was like, what's going on here? Yeah. Hi. She came in, jumped on the bed, jumped off the bed, went back into her bed. It is quite hot in here, so I don't blame her. She's trying to get comfy. Remembering starting with the top one first. So it just basically means that it doesn't make it as difficult for you to layer, and on top of that, it looks better. Looks more natural than, like, people can tell if, like, you drew, like, people that are used to having to layer, I should say, not like just artists, but like knowing the concept of layering, and there's a lot of professions that know that. When they look at that, they can tell if you've drawn around it or under it and done it in the natural layers that would have happened in nature. And if you stick to that kind of natural layering process of like, okay, well, this would be on top of this, so I'm going to start with those first. Like, you'll produce like something that feels very, very real to the person looking at it. Yeah, even though this is not real, I'm hoping that in some way there's some kind of structure and technique to it that's helping somebody. That is way better than me. I'm gonna leave that striped even though that looks kind of weird for right now. I'll cap it off with one of these, which is gonna be an indicator that I want to frill it out. So for the most part, this is done as far as recon cleanup. These I'm going to clean up with a marker. It's much more efficient and also better for my better pens. I don't want to use them constantly, you know what I mean? So now we're going to take our handy dandy. This is just for the outside too. I'm not going to go in with the inside with the marker unless there are areas like right here as an example that I can immediately clean up that are going to help that detail. So actually let's do that first, and then we'll complete it with the outside so that it matches this outside, and then we can go in with some finer detail like it has, because right now you can see it's lacking that. So let's start. I would call that it lacks finesse at this point. This is great. I can get as close to my drawing as I want, and you guys don't have to see my stupid fucking face doing it. Sometimes, you know, you just have a bad face day. And it makes me happy to have a bad face day, as in I took a nap earlier and half my face has makeup and half of it doesn't. And I'm not reapplying it because there's no point. This is a very gentle fill-in. I don't want to go fucking nuts because I want to give as many opportunities for color as possible with how thick I made this initially. I hold the page because I don't want a variance in the line. I want it to be very, very accurate. I don't have to outdo the other side. Just have to make it look... They're not supposed to be twins, they're sisters. This is an area I want to correct because I don't want her arm associated with the unfortunate feather alignment that I chose. Sorry, I'm just doing a survey. Everything looks pretty good. There's room for... there we go. There's room for color. And I want to kind of make it look I want to make sure there's a distinction. I don't want to overlap her pants with the feathers, so I'm trying not to go too much into that. And now I'm asking myself if I want to just clean up some of this stuff to match this, because I really do kind of like the way this looks better than this in a tiny, tiny way. And I think it would just take some darkening in on spaces that are, on spaces that are a little bit messy. And like I said, it's not a lot of improvement, it's just a little bit of improvement that hopefully will just make it that much better, you know? That guy looks like a little sad face. Clean up some of the lines so they don't look as chaotic as they did before. Because if we're going to have some soft colors to this, I don't want it to be overwhelming. No, Mr. Smiley Face, no. Just cleaning up a little bit. I wish I wouldn't have made that stroke. It's kind of bothering me, but that's okay. We'll fix it somehow or make it prettier. Okay. This area is still a little darker, but that's I made a lot more mistakes, and I really don't want to over darken this area because I really want the color that I add to really pop, if I can make that happen. At least the boots are, this is just very, very fine tip pen that I use to just give it some depth. What color I'm gonna do them, or it's probably gonna be green or gold or something to do this. I want gold to be in the wings subtly, and also the colors that you see in my fingers. So like a blue, a turquoise, a yellow, and that's pretty much what I've got on my hands. Primary peacock colors. And sometimes there can be a little bit of red in there and some other kind of exotic colors, but we're going to stick to the main palette. And I want to make sure that her wings pop, but also that she does, especially since she's standing in kind of like a solemn stance. It wasn't intentional, it just turned out that way. Like I said, mistakes happen and then they turn into something completely different, and you like the thing that he turned into. Anyway, so I'm going to be playing around with some swatches at this point. Because she ready for it. And yes, I'm very scared about doing it. Because these are with markers. So at least we're going to first start off with sorting out the colors that I think I need. And Sharpie markers are great, especially like if you guys are, if anyone out there is doing anime and you want those really good color separations with a consistency, experiment with it. Layering them, that's a little trickier. Maybe watch a tutorial on YouTube. I am no expert. So anyway, so what I'm looking for are peacock colors. So right off the bat, I see. So I'm picking out all. We're gonna do some brown because there is brown in a peacock feather. This might give it a good pop because there is a green. There's a softer. Maybe the yellow will come in handy, and flesh tone. I haven't decided. I think I want her flesh tone to be greenish, but I want to counterbalance it with a different color. God damn it. So I'm not sure yet. But, we're gonna bypass... the orange might help to blend. But that's getting into cartoon territory, and I don't know if I want to go there. Maybe some pink. Let's do a regular yellow. And a soft purple. Just because it might help to balance out some blues. Oh, I do have a couple smoky blues. These might be good, actually. For certain areas. So there we go. So this is what we're going to be trying out to see what is too dark and what is too light and where I want to use them. So this is the boring part. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit better. No, the other way. Okay, there we go. Alright. Oh, I was like, why is there nothingness right here? Okay, so I'm gonna smoke while I'm swatching. Swatching is tedious and boring. I apologize, but I have to do it. And I'm probably going to be taking a couple pictures, so I might go on a BRB just to like take some photos of it before I actually start coloring it in, because I could potentially mess it up. So we'll see. Okay, so let's try all these guys first, and we'll put him in that family. And then we'll do these guys. These are more, well, brown's brown, but I want to see how dark it is. But these are all kind of like flesh tones or tones to balance out things. So I'll put those at the last, but I want to see how these perform. And get a good swatch in there. You want to like see what it can do. And then you close that and you move on. You just keep it in the order that you're using. This actually might be a good one. So I'll start ones that I think, because this is way too close to the black in this picture. So I might keep it around. When I do touch-ups, it might just add a bit of warmth to that black and white. So I'm not like abandoning it, but at least I know, okay, this fits in the family I'm looking for. So I'm gonna like put that there. This is, I think, the same shade as the other one. It's just a little bit more worn out, but it might be good for scumbling, which is, like doing finer lines that would add a softer quality, considering that the line is not consistent, if that means anything. If you know what I'm saying. I don't know. Anyway, I'm a nerd. Anyway, I'm curious to see what this one is. Ooh, this is a good one. Yeah, let's use that. Okay, this is my good pile. This is my darker pile of colors. I'm assuming this blue is gonna fit into that category, and that other blue that I've got. So yeah, I do want to use this blue though, because I think it's a beautiful blue. I'll figure it out. I think it might be in the center, but I think I want the eyes to stand out in a certain way, and I don't know the way I do yet, but I'll figure it out, you know. Alright, now let's swatch these guys. Actually, let's just get the brown out of the way. Actually, that's a lighter brown. Sweet. Because there are brown in peacock feathers, and I want to make sure to add them. I also don't know, like, I think I want our boots to be green. Like, maybe like that green mixed with this green as like a, ooh, yeah, as like a darker. Because they're just subtle enough in difference that I might get away with an actual shading that looks good. And I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to do cross-hatching, or I'm going to do like just straight on color, but I might start with cross-hatch. I like the way it looks. I might go into full-on anime mode. We'll see. But yeah. Sorry, I'm smoking. Alright, let's try the greens. That's a good green. I like it because it's kind of a neon green. It might actually help the yellow pop in the center if I'm going to use yellow. Yeah, these two together might be good to create that center I was talking about. Let me see. Because you can layer markers, you just got to be really careful about it. And give the markers space. Don't do like an entire block of it and then, you know. Yeah, because it gives it that little bit of green that it has. And I know that like peacock feathers are usually dark in the center with a ring of yellow. So I'm conflicted. Do I do the triangular areas that color, or do I do it in a traditional peacock? Like, that's a traditional peacock fet. I'm gonna look up some pictures, actually, while I'm on. I'm just gonna Google some peacock feathers, and maybe it'll inspire me. 1 second, guys. Okay. Okay, I found one that I like. Alright, so actually, there's a very... Okay. I'm gonna try to explain this. Because I'm hangout capturing and not display capturing. And I have everything on here, so... Anyway, it looks like a lot of the bright lime green colors are in the feathers themselves. So I should be focusing on doing a lime green ring around the outlines of the actual feather, and also probably inside the ring if I can. And then that gives me very limited space to do something with this, but the inside of the peacock feathers are dark, like a dark blue. And I'm wondering if I should stay true to it or make it kind of unnatural in its appearance. So, I don't know. If you guys have any opinions, feel free to shout them out. Well, I could probably do display capture real quick. To show you guys what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can do it. I have to go into game mode. There we go. So that's what I'm going for. So that's the kind of the picture that shows like an actual peacock feather. So I'm gonna have to get creative with it. And you can also do like a test sample, you know, like say this is if this was a bigger drawing I can get into way more detail, but I might just for fun, I did do, I don't know if you guys can see it, an illustration of the feather that inspired me, which is probably going to be a tattoo I get in a stained glass fashion at some point. It's probably the only one that's going to have color. I'm going to draw it myself and go to a tattoo artist I trust, and I'm still looking for that person. The person that did my sun tattoo, though, did a really good job. I saw him in Walmart the other day. I was super excited. I was like, that's my tattoo guy. So this goes into that dark blue family, which actually kind of looks exactly like the center of the peacock feather. So let's do a trial peacock feather here. I know it's crude, but let's just do it. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. Okay, so crude peacock feather. And let's make it a little bit more realistic. It's darker. Don't have a lot of space to work with. This 5 is dying also. I have plenty of these though. Based on the drawing, I kind of want to start out with okay, so say we take these two, and then let's get this light blue in there, which is this guy. Okay. And these are the colors that go through the feathers too. So if I want to add, like, say, a dark blue, but what if instead of a dark center I did yellow? Maybe I'll do this with it, and then do that with the feathers and add some blues and stuff like that, and then we'll figure out what to do with the center, because depending on how the color looks of the feathers, it's really going to determine whether or not it needs additional color, if it's bright enough, and then we can add some dark spots into it, I think is the way to kind of go with it. Wait, hold on, I'm just getting my chat up again, sorry. Okay, so we have a plan. We're gonna use these guys. Oh wait, we didn't try this green. I'll save this one for the feathers. Okay, let's do it. Let's take a picture of it before I ruin it. Alright. It's preserved. My brother's sending me memes. Silly. Hi, Drewski. Okay, now that we're getting into the coloring aspect of it, I think I want to change the album because I need some energy. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah, we were gonna do Porcupine Tree, which might get me muted. I don't know. Let's see what album we got. I'm gonna mute the desktop really quick because I want to see if this is the album I'm thinking of. Okay. I found it. This is Porcupine Tree and Abstentia, I think is the album. It's a good intro to it. Like, they have more proggy, heavy stuff. One of the memes online is one of my favorites. Like, I've been to a ton of their concerts, and I love them to death. And, one of the things is, like, a meme of him playing on stage, and it says, "This song, ... is really gonna be really fucking long." So, this is a good album, and just let me know how the sound is. It should kick in at some point. I think it gets louder. Okay, anyway, we're gonna listen to this while we're doing her thing. And no judgment. This helped me draw a lot of stuff, surprisingly. Let me know if it's too loud. Okay, so let's bite the bullet and do the, this is one of my favorite prog bands, I guess you can call them. At least I consider them a prog band. Alright, so let's do the yellows first in here to make them pop, which makes sense now that I think about it. So let's do it. If I'm getting any sort of muddiness in the yellow, it means there's pencil somewhere and I need to re-erase it. So let's hope it doesn't get all muddy, because once it's muddy you can't really fix it. That's also why it's a good reason to like wait until everything's like dry. You know, like permanent markers are great, but like you gotta give them time to do their thing. So this is the fun part for me, is coloring in. Like the drawing is always like the worst for me. Like I like hate my paintings and drawings until they start to look like what I kind of want them to look like, mistakes and all. And when you start coloring them in and you get a color scheme, then it becomes really bringing it to life, you know what I mean? So that's why that's my favorite process. And let me know if you need me to turn the saturation of this up, because it is a very bright yellow. So if you can't see the yellow, actually I don't think you guys can. Oh no, you can see it. I can see it. I think the camera is adjusting. So let's do... And like that's a good area where I might use the blue or the light green to color it up. You know? See that mud right there? That means there's pencil there. So just gotta be careful about that. It's such a subtle line you probably don't see it, but like I see it right away and I'm like, oh, the green's going there. There we go. I have to do it all again with a different color, and then a different color. It's better to forward assembly line it. Let's make sure they're all yellow. No, they're not. Oh, this is a pretty song. I like this one a lot. Oh wait, now we're gonna do this guy. I'm gonna try not to cover up what I'm doing. And actually, let's zoom in a little bit, honestly. Yeah, that's better. There we go. Oh, now you can see the yellow a lot better. I'm an asshole. Sorry. So now we're making them slightly lime green. Yes, we have to do it with every single one. I ask myself sometimes, why do I decide to do such tedious work? Why can't I be normal and do something that doesn't require so many layers? What shortcuts are you not learning that you should be? But I think it adds character. And I'm doing as an example with the yellow, I was doing this because I want full coverage. With this green one, I'm doing this. So it's very different. Yeah. I always keep my little, you know, thingy handy. So I can test out stuff before I ruin things. Okay, that's all green. And like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's like really noticeable. If it's green or has that lime to it. I don't know if you can tell if there's a difference yet, but we'll get there. It's okay. When I went to see these guys in concert, like the entire audience would clap while they went through this part. It's great. I think it's originally done with a banjo, but on stage they use an acoustic, which is understandable. Because they definitely don't play it like it is on the album. Because I'm a nerd. I think that one's far gone. I should just make it blue. Okay. We have yellow. Yay! And now I look at it for a minute and decide what I want to do with it next. I kind of want to I want to take a break from doing that, and I want to like put the blue circles around subtly, but I just don't know if it's a good idea yet, given I don't know how I'm going to do the feathers. But the feathers are going to be primarily green, so the hint of blue might be good. Let's do it. Maybe on the bigger ones? I don't know. it might not be light enough. Maybe this should be the center, and then we use like one of these. We'll start with a lighter color. Let's start with this. Yeah. Sorry if I don't talk a lot during stream when I'm drawing, because this is kind of like inviting you into my own little world. And sometimes I zone out, so I apologize. But I am checking like chat and stuff like that, so feel free to say something if you want. Or if you have like a suggestion on how this thing can be more badass, feel free to shout it out. I like it so far. I'm gonna leave them yellow for right now because I don't know what the green is gonna do to all of this. So we're gonna... I'm not gonna play with this, and we're gonna do feathers. So once again, I'm getting my trusty little experiment out. Okay, experiment feather. Now there is a lot of that I think this would be a really good shade to start with, and this, I think this is going to be my color scheme, because I can alternate it too, so like yeah, that's definitely going to be in there. Yeah. 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 Actually, we'll need that pop. Okay, that's if we want to do something darker. So that's a standby. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. My mom's texting me. Okay. Let's start with the lighter green. Yeah. I know it looks like I'm doing it really messy, but with the color that it is, it's not important to show detail. It's just that that pop is there for when I go over with darker lines. So it's just important that the hue is there. That makes sense. Plus it's fun. Okay, so it's starting to not look so dark, which I'm liking. I know. Okay, it's between these two, which is gonna be the next one, or maybe the green. Nice and light. Nice and green. This one, green, then the darker one. Now we can go into just a little bit more detail. And I do want those wispies that are not illustrated, you know? I'm gonna be making them. It just adds some more color to it too. But notice I'm cross-hatching. I'm not completely filling it because there's going to be other colors. My goal now, instead of saturating it with color, is to make it look more like feathers. Okay. So far, so good. Sorry, I had to fix that. It wasn't right. How did I completely miss that feather? Can you guys see that color? Is the saturation good enough? I hope it is. If not, I'll like up it. Let me try to. Because I don't know how this is showing up. Because it looks pretty bland on my screen. It's not doing anything. Let's do white balance. There we go. Can you see it now? I'm sorry, I'm gonna look a little... Well, actually, this is kind of my skin color. But, you can see the green now. So that's good. So far, I don't think I've messed it up yet. Get those floofies in a little bit. I don't want to do it with a darker pen because then it's just like overbearing. I'd like to have it be a little bit more subtle, you know? Also, this creates a really good barrier of softness between the feathers and her, so it separates her from the actual... Actually, I'm going to do that over here really quick. So I remember to not forget to do it. Let's get some wispies. The wispies is fun. The wispies are fun. Just gotta kink. The only reason I'm doing them all red now is because I don't want to go overboard. And if I take a break and I'm like, I have to do it fucking extreme, you know, like I don't want to do it that way. Okay. It's enough wispies. Wait. There. Okay. Okay. Enough wispies. Alright, so how are we doing on this wing? That's good. So now we're doing it on this wing, I guess. Yeah. Ooh. Like that effect right there. It's a happy accident. I like that. I think I might try to do that here too. Good evening. What's up, Chemical Addiction? How are you doing? I hope you guys can see the green. I hope so. I'm well, how are you? I'm pretty good. Drawing. I'm in the zone with it. Listen to music. Having a good time. What about you? Are you playing with your puppers? Oh my god. So cute. I'm trying to make peacock feathers without completely losing all the detail that I worked on. Jesus! It scared me. I was watching a show with a friend, but I played with them earlier, so now I'm just unwinding a bit before bed. Come to the wrong place. I'm playing prog music. Well, hopefully me drawing will lull you to sleep, and me not talking. I don't really talk when I draw, so it's like kind of new for me to do. Fucking lighter. Hold on. Found one. Yeah. Alright, so now we're gonna go back to this side. And we're gonna go in with another color, a little bit darker. Hi, Shira. Want some water? Yeah, she's thirsty. She's like, I'm just here for water. Go fuck yourself. And it's not how she talks to me. I wish that's how she talked to me. It'd be hilarious if I had a sassy dog. What color was it? It was either... I was using this. I'm done with this for right now. But we're gonna put it over there because it's still a good color. Not using yellow. I think this was the green. Let's get the swatch pad out. It's kind of green right now. I mean, it is making it. Maybe I'll use it for the shade. Yeah. Yeah. Just defines. Yeah, okay. I'll start here though. I sometimes say things for my dogs because I'm a weirdo like that. You say things for your dogs? What do you mean, like you speak on their behalf? I always speak on Shira's behalf. I know. I feel like we have some sort of weird relationship that, well, like, I get her. I don't know if she exactly gets me. At least she lets me know what she wants. That's all. I'm just happy about that. Okay, with that idea I did earlier, I'm gonna kind of expound on it. And just use it to darken up certain areas, but not use it as like a, you know, a shade. I'm just trying to like pull areas back and push some areas out. Like that right there. And I am doing it like thicker versus like cross-hatching it like I did before. Hi, pups. Come on, baby, what do you need? You gotta go out? You gotta pee? You haven't peed in a while. Okay, I think my dog has to pee. Yeah, like one of my dogs is a bit chunkier than the other, so I'll say to him, you are getting fat, and I'll say for him, you're on the dog, and then I laugh at my own joke. It's crazy. No. And then they just look at you like, huh? It's good to fuck with your dogs. You should fuck with your dogs. It leads to a healthier life for them, honestly. Just don't be mean. But they don't. Like, I treat her like a princess, which is like a fault on my part. And I feel guilty if I, like, don't do what I'm supposed to do. Like, if I forget to feed her, like, on time, like, it's like an hour later and she's crying. I'm like, what do you want? I'm like, oh, you need food. I'm an asshole. You know, like, shit like that. I can tell the difference. I don't know if you guys can. But it's helping to bring out the feathers a little bit more. That dark green might come in handy too. I'm gonna keep this on the bypass. Shira, you gotta go out? Yeah? Okay. Guys, I'm gonna take a really quick break. She was gotta do her thing. So I'm gonna, I don't have a BRB screen on here. I should duplicate it. Wait, hold on. There we go. Alright, cool. I don't know what Porcupine Tree is playing right now. I'm scared. So we're gonna pause it. I'll be right back. Go take my pups out. I'll be right back. I'm back. This music's ominous. Is it too yellow on your guys' screen? Because on mine it is, a little bit. Just to make sure you guys see the color I'm putting into it. I'm just going to try to fuck with it a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna do... I'm just gonna change the white balance. And just increase, like, I'm gonna look yellow as fuck, but, like, whatever. At least, like, that's less yellow. If I make it more blue, it might help. Yeah, actually, that helps. My hand is blue and creepy. Actually, it's still pretty close to my skin tone. Also, welcome back. Thanks for hanging in there. I don't remember if I like this song. No, I don't. Point 3. I don't know what this song is. They added, like, on Spotify, they, like, add songs that are, like, remastered or, like, added to the album later. Anyway, so we did the dark green here, so we're gonna do it on the other one. Oh, no. Now I know the song. Sorry. Took a minute. I haven't listened to this album in so long. I love it, though. It's a good zone out. I like their heavy prog stuff, and also they do a lot of transitions and a lot of really cool vocals, and I don't know. I like it a lot. What, baby? I just took you out. What do you need? I know you're not hungry. You just ate. What is it? She's so whiny. Oh, you want to get comfy? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I have to tuck my dog in. Here you go. Ow. Wait, hold on. Sorry. There you go. Lay down. It's either that or the other bed. I don't know what you want from the kid. Good girl. Alright. She's nice and wrapped up like a burrito. She likes to burrito herself. Also, welcome back. She needs pets. Oh yeah, wait. Something about your dog. Wait, my dogs are definitely spoiled. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? They live a short life. Let's give them a good one. You know? I don't think people treating their dogs well is, or like even spoiling them. As long as they like teach them how to be good dogs. I hate like asshole owners that like their dogs are assholes. But you know it's not the dog's fault. If that dog was trained properly, it'd be fucking awesome. And, you know, it would be living a better life, and, like, the owners would be, too, if they took the time to do it. So I fucking love dogs and pets and in general. Just know what you have and fucking give them lovin's, you know, because their lives are short. And we take our lives for granted until we see something so precious like animals. We don't deserve them. They're wonderful. Alice like whines to communicate. Yeah, Shira's, a whiner. Yeah, my dog loves dogs as long as she's, like, more energetic than the other one. If they're, like, right on top of her, she's like, what? Like, she gets shy, but, like, if she's, like, super excited and, like, you know, wants to go after her, she's super playful. And, I socialized her a lot when she was younger. She's 3 now, but she, like, for 2 years before, like, the COVID shit, like, she was seeing dogs, like, every other day, probably, and I'd take her to dog parks and stuff. But she just loves people in general. Hates kids, which I think is fucking hilarious. But, like, once I, like, I think she gets freaked out over, like, she also gets freaked out over tall people. Like, really tall people. They're like, you guys aren't the size I'm used to. And then she gets all, like, fucking defensive. It's fucking hilarious. Anyway, so that's that. Excuse me. No blurring, good. I'm also doing a little cleanup with these darker edges with the blue because it just kind of warms up the... It's dark, but it doesn't distract from the... It just gives warmth, you know, to the rough edges of the black marker. Okay. Try not to overdo it. But that blue is really, really helping to pop this, and I like it. I also like this blue outline I've got going accidentally. Just to make it clean. Now I still want to do something different with the top of the wings, so I'm not going to go into it with blue. I'm just going to end it there as far as like an outline. I like it. It kind of rounds it out a little bit. Bless you. Did I sneeze? So proud of it, I don't even know. I fucked that line up. That's okay. Wanted to say I'd like to be good at art if I were going to do anything, though. It would be, learn an instrument. Really ought to take time for that, but I don't. I procrastinate extraordinary. Yeah, anxiety keeps me from doing things, which a lot of people mistake for procrastination. And it's like, no, I'm just fucking scared, you know, because you think way too far ahead. I don't know if that's your problem, probably not. That's my own crazy. But, like, you know, it's like as soon as you take that first step, all of a sudden it gets easy. Because, like, me getting on stream, like, I don't stream a lot because I do have high anxiety. So it is hard for me to, like, get this all set up. And, like, if I get that mojo going, I get scared. And I, you know, yeah. I have a guitar. And I could learn, but don't force myself to do it. You know what I found really easy? Start really basic. Like really, really fucking basic. Like, go on YouTube, look up, learn 3 chords. Just 3 chords. And you practice those 3 chords until your fingers know it in your sleep. You don't even have to look at it. Just 3 chords. And learn how to tune your guitar. And tune your strings. That's it. I know it sounds a lot complex. I used to work at a guitar shop, so, like, and I play bass. So, I hear ya. It's like all that set up. But, you know, once you get into it, you know, just don't focus on, like, writing a song. Like, I found that was always my, like, fault, is like, oh, I gotta write a song. It's like, learn the basics and the songs will come to you. Like, you know, if you fuck around, if you learn 3 or 4 chords, you fuck around with them enough, all of a sudden you're like, well, what if I put this in there and that in there? And that's when you start to come into your own. So just, you know, enjoy the experience, you know? I use YouTube to string the guitar. Need to tune it. You can get a mobile tuner. on your phone. Like, I have a mobile app. Otherwise, you can go to like a guitar shop or go on Amazon and find a guitar tuner and just put it on your headstock, and you know, it'll do its thing. And they're great. They run on watch batteries, so I think this side's nice and done. You know, I think I'm gonna move on to this. I'm gonna give this marker a rest because I don't want to give it out. This is the same color, so I'm gonna use it on that. But it's turning out a lot cooler than I anticipated, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, in comparison, that's before the blue. This is after the blue. So the blue really did make it come to life, I think, a little bit. Yeah, is this the one I used? Shit, I don't remember. Wait, which one's warmer? This one's warmer. That's another trick too. If you ever forget which pen you use and you have two of them, touch it because it'll be warmer than the other one. It would be colder. Okay. Oh wait. So that was a Porcupine Tree album. I think I'm gonna play another one unless anybody has any shout out albums. I like 90s shit. Also prog. Otherwise, I'm probably going to put on another Porcupine Tree album that's a little bit heavier. So it may not fit into your I want to chill space, and I apologize. Albums. Have to buy a tuner, still use a flip phone. Ah, shit. Okay, shit, okay. I used to have this problem. Do you have, you said you have an acoustic? No, when I say I wind down, I just mean that I'm really tired, but I don't want to go to bed. Okay. I would have to buy a tuner. You can get one on Amazon super cheap. Otherwise, get, a tuning fork. Honestly, you can, oh, you have a classical guitar? Fucking yeah. That's the best guitar to learn on, honestly. When I worked at the guitar shop, we would have a lot of parents coming in, you know, buying instruments for their kids, and I was like, start them on, like, you know, a classical. The fret's wide, you know, the fretboard's wide, the strings are nylon, so they're not as harsh on your fingers when you're trying to learn as, say, like, a steel acoustic guitar, a steel string. So, like, that's perfect for that, especially if you're learning chords. When you get to a different instrument, it's like butter, you know, so, like, I always encourage, like, acoustics, I mean, like, classical's the way to go, if, like, you're learning. 3 metal strings, 3 nylon, I think. Yeah. The E, A, and D should be nylon, and then they do steel for the E, A, D, G, B, E, I think. Plastic nut. It's got a pack of strings with the guitar. Yeah, it's nylon. They're nylon strings. Plasticky. Yeah, they look plasticky. They feel plasticky. But essential. Never, ever, 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 ever string your classical guitar with a set of string, like steel string guitar strings, ever. Always get classical strings. Always, you know? Like, oh, because you will fuck up your guitar so bad. Like so many I used to work on the guitar side, like, used to work on repairs on guitars and stuff, and it was not fun. Like, people was like, there's no it was beyond repair. We'd have to end up selling them something. Like, it was that bad. So no complete if the first string, like, it says classical on it, and there should be nylon plasticky looking strings with like 2 steel strings. Yeah, sorry. That's another thing I can fucking nerd out about is music, because I did it for so long. Like, it was a job, and it was also, you know. Let's do Fear of a Blank Planet. There's some cool songs in here, I think. It's a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, I think this was like we're trying to relate to the Youth album. But it's still good. Alright. Plus, it'll help me get through this quickly. because it's kind of more of upbeat than the last one's like kind of a prettier album for them, you know? This one's a little bit different. There's not a lot of like, you know, this one's not good. There we go. I have to make sure to stay in the feathers and not detour to like the outline until I'm done with the feathers, because I don't want to miss a spot and then I don't get the same blue effect on both sides that I want. So I just have to be sure. Okay, so far the blue's coming through a little bit. I really like the sound of the cello. I really have the guitar, so it would be a good place to start. Yeah. Dude, stringed instruments. Dude, I love watching people play that kind of stuff, you know? Like, I have some classical, but, like, there's nothing like going to an orchestra and, like, watching someone play it. It's like a whole performance, you know what I mean? It's so cool looking. So, yeah. I hear you, man. Cellists are, that sounds like a cool thing to do. Like, I'm a bassist, so I would have I wouldn't say an advantage, because it's probably a completely different experience playing an upright bass. And I'm also 5'4", so I would have to get a stool. But the appeal's there. I really would like to learn it, but also basses are like fucking 10 grand. 8 grand maybe if you get a deal. It's not a cheap experimental thing. It's like, I better be in a goddamn jazz band. Like, imagine transporting that for me and I'm so short. Okay, so let's start the outline, because I'm happy, I'm sure I'll find other places I want to put it. But I'm liking how some of it's poking out. Actually, that needs to be blue. It is bluer. This side is darker though, so maybe I'll make up, well, I mean, a lot of the blue is that, so maybe that'll help. So let's start from the bottom. I'm gonna move some of my pens because they're gonna fall off the table. Thinking. Have a great night, Winter. Thanks for hanging out, Chemical Addiction. Have a good night. Sleep well. YouTube 4 chords. And practice only those. Oh, that made me want to hear the Tool version of No Quarter. Tool hates people playing their shit on stream, though. It's not like I'm talking anyway. Is this my ashes? Yeah, no. Okay, wait. We're gonna take a detour from Anesthetize, and we're gonna listen to No Quarter. Hopefully the Tool version's on here. I doubt it. Yeah, no. Alright, YouTube. I want to listen to No Quarter. They did a really good cover, for those of you that know No Quarter by Led Zeppelin. If you don't, the original song's amazing, obviously. And then Tool did a cover of it that was on, I forget what it was on, but it was on, oh, yeah. Advertisements suck ass. Okay, can you guys hear that? It's a good song. And then we'll go back to Porcupine Tree. Oh shit! No! Why did it betray me? That was the version though. There we go. That's right. Let's try that again. I forget I'm on just one monitor because I am doing a streamy. Okay, there we go. If the music's too loud, let me know. I'm gonna continue. I'm making this too thick and I know it, but I really want to clean it up. It's a little rough for me. Get those gaps filled in. There we go. I want to leave those because, like, I don't want to fill these in completely because you lose the dimension. Plus, I think it just makes it more interesting. So far, so good. Okay. I think the blue parts are done. Wait, hold on. It's bothering me. I'm gonna zoom out. Okay. So far that's what I got. I can't even believe I've been on for 3.5 hours. That's the thing about, like, video gaming. I have, like, I do short streams, A, because I have things I'm doing in the day, but also, like, video games, I kind of, like, are my zen, and also, like, something to make me laugh or scared or, you know, something like that, and that's usually, like, I could probably do 2 hours, you know, 2.5 hours is, like, my usual runtime for a game. But, I could draw all fucking night. I really could. And I'm tempted to finish the wings completely and figure out what to do with this right now. So, just gonna let you guys see that while I have a victory cigarette. It looks like you get, like, I don't even think I need to do anything to the yellow because it's so dark in the feather region, but that blue really helped it pop. Like, I'm glad I did that. So I'm thinking I want it to be lighter. Maybe that's where the brown can come in, along with maybe a gold. I'm gonna start a new page. Okay. So, okay, let's say that this is wing. Okay, and this is the area we're talking about. So let's take brown, that blue color, because there's got to be some blue in there. Maybe this is where I can use the dark. No, I want it to be light. Shit, I want it to be light. Okay, I'm thinking. Not yellow, that's too flashy. What about brown and yellow? Classic, like, owl colors. Okay. Possibly. Ideas. Yeah, so that was me wanted to hear No Quarter by Tool for a second off of Spotify. Because it's not on Spotify, it's anyway, let's go back to Anesthetize, I guess. Or Fear of a Blank Planet's the name of the album, sorry. Okay, get my shit up here. One screen kind of sucks for this, but it's way less complicated in far other ways. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna do it. Okay. Alright. Because I'm not putting the brown in the feathers, but they do exist in peacock feathers. So let's zoom in here to that part. Okay. Okay. Y'all might think I'm crazy for the color scheme. And I think I'm crazy for the color scheme. We're gonna try it out. And I'm gonna do this reverse style. I'm gonna do dark to light. Because I want to manage that darkness and have it be softer and lighter than the rest of the wings. But still have color and pop. So I'm gonna start with the brown. So Pray for me. And it's gonna be very subtle. Okay, that's all I'm comfortable doing for right now. Because I want the other colors to take precedent. So, onto this one. Oh, there's a feather I forgot about over there. Well, now you are part of La Brown. Okay, that's it for the brown for right now. Unless I choose to change it. Also, I want to use this blue color on her hair a little bit. There's some areas that were not finished that bothered me. It's better. It was a little messy before, I just wanted to clean it up. Oh wait. Alright, back to the wings of death. Okay. Alright. Now we're gonna brighten up the wings with the colors from the wings. Starting dark allows me to not, like, make them too dark. So, let's... Next color on my chart was yellow. The green and blue I'll use for shading, but let's get some yellow in there. Was it yellow or was it neon? Let's make it yellow, fuck it. I'm gonna make certain areas yellow. Because you can always tone it down. Okay. I don't want the blues to turn to green, that's why I'm not completely saturating it with yellow. Okay. Next one was green. Okay, this is where it gets difficult. Okay. Okay. So